Hi, welcome to this video series. We are in the process of talking about our vision as a church. This is a vision that we feel the Lord has been giving to us over the last year or so. And we've really taken time to dive into it and to really kind of segment it out into some clear points, statements that we feel the Lord is asking us to build as a church. And some of these are really relevant for every member of the congregation, and some of them more pertain to how we are kind of leading the church and functioning as a church. But this one that we're going to talk about today, I feel like is relevant for both of them. And so I've invited Sheldon to come and sit with me. This is Sheldon Fernando. He's our finance director, and we work really closely together in the governance and leadership of the actual charity, the actual nonprofit. So Sheldon, I want to discuss this one with you today. We operate with excellence and integrity, ensuring that our practices are the best they can be and are without compromise. That's full on. There's excellence, integrity without compromise. Talk to me about why we actually believe this is really important for us.
Yeah, I mean, firstly, that's a really bold statement, I think, at the end of the day, to say that we're going to operate with excellence and integrity and operate without compromise in everything. And we know that that may be something that's unachievable, but we also know that's something we're going to work for and we're going to work towards, because that's what God's called us to do. We're accountable to Him at the end of the day first. Yeah. We're accountable to the government. We're accountable to our donors. We're accountable to everyone with how we handle our finances, with how we are running the charity at the end of the day. So I really think it's something that we know is so valuable in every decision we make, that we can't make a decision if it's not led by God firstly, but then it carries that excellence and integrity behind it. And we know that there's no compromise in how we handle the processes and the policies that come with those decisions. So, yeah.
We kind of on a weekly basis, we're obviously working together, we're in meetings, we're in emails. And I would say this statement frequently guides us in our leadership, where we are often saying, what's the right thing to do in this scenario? Not what's the best or what's the most advantageous, but what's the right thing to do? That feels quite different from a lot of my experience in other workplaces and organizations. Why do you think this is important for us as a whole congregation to embody?
Wow, I mean, that's a great question. I think that, like I said first, we're accountable to God as a church. And even though we are a charity that's governed by the government, everything we do is accountable to God at the end of the day. And so when we're making decisions in a boardroom or just it's a high impact situation that could really have a big effect on the church or on the environment around us, well, God, what do you say about this? Mm-hmm. And we know God wants us to operate with integrity. We know that it's what He's called us to. We believe that if we do that, He'll trust us with more finances. We believe that He will give us greater favor, because that's who God is. He sees the little that we do and He gives us more and trusts us with more. Right. And so we want to show Him that we can honor how we use the finances, how we handle the charity in the eyes of the government. And so we can't make decisions sometimes like another business does. We want to make sure we are standing right before Him and how we handle ourselves and how we compose ourselves in the decisions that we make. Yeah.
And it obviously doesn't, just apply to us, 9 to 5 when we're kind of on the job, as That's it were, right. But as individuals, the way that we lead our families and actually this vision is really for, every member of our church. Like
That's right.
Our desire and our vision is that 5-10 years from now, we can honestly say that every person in our church operates, that's quite a formal word, but let's imagine it in your context, like in the family context, in your business, in the way that you do your taxes, all of those kinds of things. I think it's of paramount importance to God that even those unseen things are done right and with integrity. You've got this word excellence in here, and you kind of already touched on this area of perfection and how we can't be perfect, but excellence is something we want to embody as a church family. What do you think would be the impact of every member of our church living their life and their job with excellence, what actual effect would that have?
I think it reflects God in our decision making when we are living our lives with excellence and integrity, and the people around us will see that. They'll be shocked to see someone who's not willing to cut corners or willing to take that easy route out, and they'll be surprised by that, because I don't think that is a normal decision sometimes in the world.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's very easy to want to take that easy route out, and sometimes it's easy to want to cut corners. And God honors that, and we see that throughout the Bible. Pick any story, any person you can imagine. God honored somebody who made a hard decision sometimes and who made a decision that required integrity. And I'll take David as a perfect example of that. It's not someone who is perfect, because that's not what we're striving for. We're not striving for perfection. Excellence is, can we do right in God's eyes even when we mess up?
Right.
Can we aim to show him that we understand that we made a mistake and we want to fix those things?
Yeah.
And I think that's where, when we continue the sentence by saying doing it without compromise, it's knowing that when we do make a mistake and we do compromise, it's going before God, asking for forgiveness, learning from that, and changing that process.
I think that's huge what you're highlighting there, because it could be easy for us to get into a mentality of, performance orientation or, perfectionism, where we actually need to hide ourselves and hide our mistakes because we're supposed to be a church that does this without compromise. And that's not the point of this vision statement at all. No. And I actually love what you've drawn out there, because it's every one of us is going to make mistakes. Every one of us is going to disappoint our spouse or our boss or our kids, or, and we're going to make choices that are not the best. But it's how we respond to that, and it's how we follow up with that. And especially in those moments where we think, I could have got away with that, or maybe no one's going to notice, right? I'm excited about the idea that our church could be this culture, this sort of contagious culture within our city of people who are so upright and integrity-full in the way that they approach life, that people take notice. People go, what's different about you? Because the way that you're choosing to live your life is different than me, and I want to know about that.
That's it.
And of course, people will then begin to unpack the difference is Jesus. That's what's changed me, changed who I am, and that's why I choose to live the way I do. Yeah,
exactly. And I think as a charity also, standing before the government and being able to say, one day we can be the best run charity, we can be the best run church. Showing people that in our decision making and in our actions changes how people will see us. They are led by Jesus. I can't believe that they made the decision they made, because it's so counterintuitive to what everyone else would have done. So I think we are making a bold statement by saying this, but we know what we want to show and who we want to represent.